Hi, I'm Brenda Viglione, and welcome to a brand new season of SnowMotion, where we cover all things skiing, from industry news and interviews to tips and films. This week we're riding up the chairlift with up-and-coming star on the U.S. ski team, Isaiah Nelson. And then we'll check in on the action from the World Pro Ski Tour and get a glimpse of Fleeting Time, a snowboard film by Ben Ferguson. As always, I'll share plenty of ski and fitness tips along the way. Winter is here, so let's get started.
Since 1976, U.S. ski and snowboarding has relied on the name Steadman to keep its athletes on the slopes, competing and winning against the world's best. Today, that legacy continues as the most innovative minds in sports medicine provide personalized patient care to our nation's best. On the World Cup Tour and beyond, the Steadman Clinic and Steadman Philippon Research Institute, treating Team USA and the athlete in all of us.
SnowMotion is brought to you by the Steadman Clinic, treating Team USA and the athlete in all of us. And by Gorsuch. Hailing from Buck Hill, Minnesota, Isaiah Nelson is a World Junior Super G champion and a rising star on the U.S. ski team. We rode up the chairlift to talk about his first World Cup start, favorite events, and his family of skiers. Isaiah, you're a Super G skier, but you came from Buck Hill, Minnesota.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I actually credit a lot of it to when I was in 3rd grade. We actually lived just across the highway from Avon for a whole winter, and we homeschooled, and we bought the Epic Pass, so we just free skied at Beaver Creek and Vail like the whole winter. And I think that's where I learned to not really fear speed. You know, I just got more sendy.
Yeah.
Because for sure, coming from Minnesota, you don't often have the same you know, just lack of fear for going really fast.
Yeah, because what is the highest mountain in Minnesota?
The highest is probably Lutsen,
Yeah.
which it can have a FIS GS, but Buck Hill is a 20-second slalom course. It's
so
300 vertical feet.
Yeah. Well, you seem to be good at every discipline.
I'm trying my best. Obviously, being from Buck Hill, slalom started out as what I was strongest at, and then as I started traveling more and spending more time in Colorado or Europe, you know, we trained a lot of GS, and I got to start my first World Cup GS in Solden this fall. So right now I'd say that GS is my strongest, but I love all 4 events, and I want to continue skiing them for as long as I can. And I know at some point I'll have to focus on, you know, two events more specifically. Like this season I'm going to go more for GS and Super G, but I'm going to keep slalom and downhill.
Ah, so you're kind of like a little secret weapon for the U.S. ski teams. Being
Hopefully.
So good at everything.
I got a lot of work to do, but that's the goal.
Yeah. What are you working on in your giant slalom? Why are you so fast?
Right now, I've been learning a lot from Tommy and River, and kind of the biggest technical piece I've been working on is just keeping my upper body facing down the hill the whole time, which really helps for stability, and also it puts you in a very strong position to resist the forces at the bottom of the turn where it's the heaviest, you know, when you're crossing the hill. And I think that's something that can apply for even free skiers.
All right, I think this was really cool. They did a time trial for the 4th spot in Solden for the World Cup, and you made it. You won that time trial.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
That was exciting. I mean, I didn't actually really see Solden being my first World Cup. I didn't anticipate that was going to happen. The time trial was really tough and competitive with myself, Bridger Guile, Brian McLaughlin, George Steffi, and Patrick Kenny. You know, people who I've been chasing after for a long time. And to get the spot was super exciting. I didn't ski my best in the World Cup.
Was that your first World Cup?
Yeah, it was my first one, so I can't be too hard on myself. and I'm optimistic for the future. I'm hoping to get some more World Cups this season, and I think that if I ski, to my potential, I can be in the top 30, which is my goal.
Okay, were your parents skiers?
My dad, yeah. And then my aunt Tasha was in the 98 and 2002 Olympics in skiing slalom.
Okay, so it's in the blood.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay, how much do you love ski racing?
So much. If you didn't love it this much, you wouldn't spend the time, the amount of work that we put in doing it. You have to love the work. I mean, we ski probably 200 days a year, training or racing. And then in the summer, we also lift, we lift heavy, we lift long. We go intense because, especially when you're here in Copper, when it's high elevation, you need to be in shape to push as hard as you can on the last skate as you can on the first.
And sometimes the courses in Europe seem so rough and aggressive. And, yeah, and you got to be
tough. It gets really challenging.
Give me a mental secret. What do you think? Like, how do you visualize yourself going down the hill?
Yeah, for sure. Inspection and then visualizing, trying to feel what you're gonna feel, and also expecting the rough conditions to be there, because when you inspect, it might be a clean course.
Yeah. When you run later, it's going to be rougher.
Exactly. And then the biggest thing is when I'm nervous, when I'm looking at something that's intimidating, I kind of just ask myself, why am I nervous? And what do I need to do? Usually the reason I'm nervous is because I want to, ski fast or be strong down the pitch. So it's okay, what do I need to do that? So then it kind of brings me full circle to really focus on, the technique. Whatever I'm working on. Yeah.
Okay, Isaiah, good luck this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
On the show.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, Isaiah is back to show us how to keep our upper body facing down the hill. And later, we'll catch up with the latest race action from the World Pro Ski Tour.
Feed has everything you need to fuel your workout. Hydration, gels, chews. We even have breakfast shakes. Ready for your ride?
Totally. Let's go.
Join over 500,000 athletes that are fueled by the feed.
Gels every 20 minutes.
Your feed coach can help you pick out what you need for your workouts.
Thanks, feed coach.
Don't forget to hydrate.
Doesn't matter if you just started training or you plan to win the World Championships. Shop today to get a free water bottle printed with your name. Visit thefeed.com. Fuel your workout.
We see athletes as the ones that set goals in the recovery of a life-altering injury, the individuals that redefine the magic of getting back up, those that reframe their own recoveries to not be identified by their disability, but by what they will find next as their new ability to succeed. We are High Fives, the safety net of the outdoor sports community.
We don't just repair injuries, we look within to harness the body's own power to heal and decipher the delicate balance of tendon, cartilage, and bone. Developing new treatments so you recover faster. The Steadman Clinic and Steadman Philippon Research Institute. The future of orthopedic medicine is here.
For all my latest ski tips and chairlift interviews, subscribe to SnowMotion on YouTube and follow me on Instagram at Brenda Buglione1 and on Facebook at Brenda Buglione. A common question I get is, how often do I get my skis tuned? As a former ski racer, I like to get them tuned almost every time I ski. But for a recreational skier, I would recommend maybe every 4 to 6 times after you ski to get them tuned. Some signs that you need to get them tuned, though, if you look at the base, if it's a little whitish, that means it's dry. So I would recommend getting them waxed. And if you see any signs of rust, you want to get them tuned because you want to maintain the integrity of the metal edge. Or if there's any gouges on the base, it will make you slide if you're on a steep, icy pitch. You want to have sharp edges for that condition. I go to Gorsuch Ski Service because they're so good to me and my skis have been great. I recommend going to your local shop and getting your skis tuned. It's important to take care of our equipment and ski on fresh, sharp, waxed skis. We get to take a run with Isaiah Nelson. We're going to do a tip and focus on what he's working on in his giant slalom ski.
Yeah, so a drill that I like to do in the morning before I start training is to hold my poles in front of me as I make some slow turns. And then I keep the poles facing straight down the hill. I guess if you're skiing at Vail, keep them parallel to I-70 the whole time. As the skis, cross under you and go across the hill. It really helps keep my shoulders facing down the hill the whole time. That really helps for stability and strength as you're crossing the hill at the bottom of the turn.
You're really wanting to be thinking of your chest facing down the hill.
Exactly. So if we go here, I'm gonna keep them facing straight down the hill the whole time. So here, if you see, I keep my shoulders facing down the hill as my skis, come into the fall line and then crossing the fall line. And that puts me in a strong position, especially through the bottom of the turn.
In his directorial debut, snowboarder Ben Ferguson follows Travis Rice, Red Gerard, Haley Langland, and more elite riders across the globe in search of epic lines and the ultimate adventure. Be sure to catch the full film, Fleeting Time, on Red Bull TV.
Since 1976, U.S. ski and snowboarding has relied on the name Steadman to keep its athletes on the slopes, competing and winning against the world's best. Today, that legacy continues as the most innovative minds in sports medicine provide personalized patient care to our nation's best. On the World Cup Tour and beyond, the Steadman Clinic and Steadman Philippon Research Institute, treating Team USA and the athlete in all of us.
If we want to protect the places we love, we must vote. America is a nation of many nations, many histories, many experiences. But despite our different paths, we all converged here. You see, our common ground is the land itself, our playgrounds, and places we love. Now we must protect them from the effects of climate change. If you love the land, make a plan to vote this November.
Dream job? Oh God. Marine biologist.
A food critic.
I already started a coffee roasting business, Pacific Crest Coffee Company. And our first location's doing really well, and we're opening up a second location now in Truckee. Outside of ski racing, definitely dream job, heli ski guide.
Lifty at Cochrane Ski Area.
SnowMotion is brought to you by Surefoot. Better fitting, better skiing. And by Crimson Clover. Live boldly. Welcome back to SnowMotion. To keep skiing strong all season long, it's a good idea to hit the gym before you hit the slopes. Here's a weightlifting move to add to your routine. I'm with Chris Neural, athletic trainer and strength and conditioning specialist. Chris, I know for skiing you want to build strength and you have to lift weights to do that. And I see this contraption in the gym, so tell me how to use it.
Okay, this is called a trap bar, otherwise known as a hex bar. You're gonna step inside the bar here. So this is kind of a combination between a squat and a deadlift. We're gonna work on a lot of core. We're gonna work on back strength here, grip strength, but primarily it's gonna be glutes and quads.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and grab hold of those top rungs.
Okay.
All we're gonna do, we're gonna sit back, flat back, engage those muscles back here, and go ahead and drive through your feet and lift that up. All right, back down, tap, and go. Good. Nice. Perfect form. We usually do about 8 of these. Very good, Brenda. All right, and recover. Beautiful.
Woo!
Yeah.
That was
right?
fun. I feel like I need to lift more weights because that was really fun. Okay, so does this make it safer to have this bar going around you? It felt easier to do than taking a huge bar and...
So it's a safer position, right? But it also, a lot of times when you just stack a weight on your back, you know, you're putting a lot of strain on the back and you have to focus a little bit more on your core. With this, holding that weight, you're automatically gonna increase that tension through your core so you can put more weight into those legs. And you notice with this bar, it's got handles on the bottom. So if you wanna go a little bit lower, it's also got handles that are raised up a little bit. And then we put some blocks under there just to put you in a safer position, right? So don't worry about going from the floor, lift it up a little bit to start. And then as you get more comfortable with it, you can go deeper in that depth.
Okay, and I'm strengthening my quads, my glutes. I felt my hamstrings, I felt my back, my core.
You're gonna feel everything, total body. So think about all the different impacts that you take while skiing. What happens when you hit a bump or you hit some crud, right? You have to have that strength to be able to absorb that force.
Yeah. And to make a clean carb turn, you're bending the ski. So we gotta keep our strength up to continue our good skiing.
You got it.
Okay, this is a good one, hex bar.
For the world's best skiers, their careers don't have to end after college or World Cup skiing. The World Pro Ski Tour is providing an avenue for the racers to continue their careers in an exciting head-to-head format. Follow at World Pro Ski Tour on Facebook and Instagram to keep up with all the action.
Red coach ready! Blue coach ready!
What a difference 24 hours makes, everybody. Racers are blessed today with sunshine and warmer temperatures. Yesterday, we saw top shelf performances from all the men, but the Swiss World Cup star Rito Schmidiger, he skied just a little bit better and took top honors. I'm your host, Mark Sassy, alongside Olympian Pam Fletcher, and welcome to beautiful Taos Ski Valley in sunshiny New Mexico for the final race of the finals. This is the World Pro Ski Tour World Championships.
And Mark, there's a lot of money on the line today. Not only will the winner of the giant slalom today receive a check for $20,000, but the racer with the best combined results over the 2 days of racing will not only become world champion, but walk away with an additional check of $25,000.
Now here's Bretta Halsness with your Surefoot course description.
All right, here we go. It's not gonna be too ruddy as yesterday, but first jump, it's gonna be a wild. All 3 jumps are right footers. You launch on that one, pick up a lot of pace, and now you wanna just get in your tuck, make that gate. Here comes the final jump. It's getting kind of ruddy, but it's very fast down here. Nice.
In men's qualifying, former U.S. ski team member Florian Schwebel was up against the Olympian Filip Forcek from Czechia. At the end of qualifying, the 5-time All-American Forcek had the fastest combined time from the 2 runs and became the Tito's speed run winner.
Now some action from the round of 32. The two-time Olympic gold medalist, Mr. GS Ted Ligety, going up against the Norwegian Louis Fausa. Louis Fausa is about half of Ligaty's age.
And Fausa, what a performance by Fausa. Got right down in that tuck, really railing those turns up against the true giant slalom legend Ligety, and down towards the bottom. It was really close, but in the final gates, it was Fausa that advanced and knocked out Ligety.
Now we've got some highlights from the round of 16, heat number 1. We have the 2020 World Pro Ski Tour Rookie of the Year, Olympian Simone Breifus-Kamelander, going up against the U.S. ski team member, River Radames.
And Kamelander determined, really pounding down through these gates, down towards the bottom. River coming on strong, really neck and neck at this point, and River gets him on the first run.
Radames with a slight advantage going into the second heat. Now we're going to see River on the blue course, Simone on the red course.
And Simone so determined, but boy, hooks a tip in giant slalom, falls off that jump onto his dislocated shoulder, and River Radames will advance to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Simone gives a wave to everybody. He is okay, but he is out for the day. Here's some other action from the round of 16, heat 2, between the five-time All-American Flip Voracek and the NCAA first team member, Patrick Kenny.
And Kenny, what an impressive performance, just going after it against the #1 qualifier and Tito's speedrun winner, Voracek. Kenny just puts down some great turns and advances to the quarterfinals.
In the big final for $20,000, we have Jeffrey Reed from Canada, who is coming off his best season to date, going up against River Radames from the U.S. ski team, who recently won gold at the championships in the team parallel event. But first, it's heat 1 for 3rd and 4th place between Michael Ankeny and Eric Reed.
And Ankeny much more comfortable on this pro format than Reed. Gets a little bit inside and slides out. That was such an awkward movement. Reed doesn't even really know what happened, it looks like. Well, maybe he does by now, but he's conserving a little energy, just making it down cleanly through these bottom gates on the course. Coming into the final jump, he's just really testing it out, conserving energy. He wants to get down through these final gates cleanly, and he will have that max advantage.
Now it's time for heat 1 of the big final for $20,000 between the American River Radames and the Canadian Jeffrey Reed.
And that's a lot of money on the line. They are going to have to hustle, really working those skis, getting nice arcs down to the bottom. They're neck and neck coming into Pro Tour Alley, and Radames pops out in front of Reed. But remember, the red course, if you run it direct, and that's what Jeff does, runs a nice direct line coming down through the finish. This is going to be very close. It's Reed by .227. He'll take that advantage into the second run.
This run will determine 3rd and 4th place. Ankeny has to ski his heart out with a disadvantage of 7/10 over Eric for a spot on the podium.
And here's where you have to risk whatever you have left in your tank all the way down this run. There's a lot of money on the line still for 3rd and 4th place. Eric is out in front by a good margin at this point, almost a full gate. Coming into Tour Alley, nice and clean Eric is on that ski, trying to generate more speed. Ankeny's bleeding time, dropping further behind. Eric out in front at this point, coming down to the final few gates. It'll be Eric Reed, the 3rd place winner today here in Tahoe Ski Valley.
Eric just earned a check for $4,300. It's all about the leg juice and who has it more. This is it, folks, and in 20 seconds, a winner will be crowned. River on the red with 2/10 to make up over Jeffrey Reed on the blue.
And this is their 10th run of the day. They are running on adrenaline right now, trying to focus mentally and physically attack this track. Is going to take all the ounces of energy that they have left in their tank. Coming down to the bottom, here we come into Tour Alley. Jeff moves out in front of River almost by a full gate. Will it be enough? Can River pull some time back on him? Jeff touches down before River. Coming to the final gates, it'll be Jeffrey Reed who becomes the World Pro Ski Tour Taos Giant Slalom World Champion.
Let's take it down to the Corbell, California Champagne Award celebration. Jeff Reed wins the 2023 World Pro Ski Tour Taos World Championship Giant Slalom.
Schmidiger becomes the World Pro Ski Tour 2023 Taos Men's Overall World Champion.
What a great season it's been on the World Pro Ski Tour. And here's a look at your 2023 season champions, Aaron Milzinski and Simone Kamelander.
Well, that's it for this episode of SnowMotion. Thanks for joining, and make sure to tune in next time for the latest and greatest winter sports action. Until then, I'm Brenda Buglione, and we'll see you on the slopes.